So what's up everybody, this is going to be my Black Clover 339 predictions. I think this chapter will focus on not only what 𝚲𝚙𝚅𝚅 just did to the bandits, but as well we're going to get an update as to the other cast in the Clover Kingdom, possibly see the Black Bulls. So let's get into my Black Clover 339 predictions. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. So we should hit me with some false copyright strikes, so let's get this channel back to 5,000. Check out the Discord. So last chapter was interesting because we get a huge reveal as to who 𝚲𝚅𝚅 is. We didn't even know her name until this chapter, and then we figure out her relationship to Yami. She's Yami's sister, and we figure out that Yami's first name is actually his last name. So the Yami clan might be introduced in this chapter. We might get a little bit of insight as to how they are and how they act, and I'm pretty sure, like I said before in the other video, we're going to get like a type of joke how all of them have that like death stare. I mean, it's funny to me. I wouldn't be surprised if Yami's clan has some devil worshipping or some type of contracts with devils in a certain sense, similar to how Nant's family is. I wouldn't be surprised if Yami does something similar, but with the Japanese version. Some of you guys have been saying like spirits. It'll be very interesting to see that Yami's clan has something to do with negative entities, negative spirits, demons, devils, whatever. That's why his family has this dark aura, this power of dark magic because of their traits, and that's why they're able to afflict devils in the other world. Maybe that's a possibility. I think we're going to also get a somewhat of a backstory, at least teased in this chapter, as to Yami's relationship with his family. I mean, I'm gonna make a video about this, so I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but there's a reason why Yami did not decide to come back to Hino country, or the land of the rising sun. I mean, I think he has a bad relationship with his family, so that's probably why he decided to stay in the Clover Kingdom. Who knows? But I'll further touch that in another video because that's a topic of itself. But we will get that teased in this chapter, in my opinion, because 𝚲𝚅𝚅 says she hates men like Asta. Is it because Asta is a foreigner, or is it because Asta reminds her of her brother? The possibility is probably both, but I'm leaning more towards the side of because Asta probably reminds her of her brother, which further goes into Yami having some type of bad tension with his family. So this chapter is probably going to explain as to what 𝚲𝚅𝚅 did. We're going to get a better understanding as to what type of ki, how to weaponize it. I've been saying this for a long time. They're going to weaponize ki in a certain sense, and I think last chapter basically confirmed it. We're probably going to get a further explanation on this. We're probably going to figure out how Asta is able to use that ki and weaponize it, even if he doesn't have mana, because we see Ryu, and apparently he doesn't have any magical power either. Obviously, everybody's saying that there's a possibility that Ryu is Asta's father in a certain sense. Besides that, Asta is going to be able to use his ki and his ability similar to Ryu. And I think the reason why 𝚲𝚅𝚅 isn't around is because Ryu wants Asta to become stronger on his own and not rely just on 𝚲𝚅𝚅's power. So if he's able to get strong on his own and have his own combatible power that doesn't have to do with swordsmanship or anti-magic, but he uses ki, then when he has the anti-magic swords and 𝚲𝚅𝚅's anti-magic, he's just going to be that much powerful. That's what I think is possibly Ryu's plan. Also, we might get maybe like a silhouette or a introduction to one of the 7 Ryuzen. We don't know who exactly they are, but I'm guessing they're similar to like the captains of the Clover Kingdom or the generals of the Diamond Kingdom. They're going to be like the country's line of defense. We're probably going to get introduced to one of them. I bet one of them is going to be very friendly towards Asta, and then majority are just going to look at him as a foreigner. But I'm very excited how we're this late in the game in Black Clover. Yeah, we're getting introduced to new powers as well as learning more about Yami. So it's cool, you know? We all knew that once Asta and the story was going to get into the land of the rising sun, we'll learn more about Yami, but to learn that this whole entire time we've been calling Yami's last name as his first name is pretty interesting. With that being said, in this chapter I could see Asta starting at least some of his training to master this ki. There's a possibility that Asta ends up having 1 day each for one of the Ryuzen, because there's a reason why there's 7 Ryuzen, and then apparently Lucius is saying that there's going to be 7 days before he attacks. So in my opinion, 𝚲𝚅𝚅 made 7 Ryuzen for a reason, so I get the feeling that Asta might train 1 per day. That's what I'm guessing. We might get 𝚲𝚅𝚅 back in this chapter. We're probably going to get an update as to what's going on with them. There might be a little tease as to how people in the land of the rising sun can heal a devil, and also the country's ties to devils. Maybe the devils out there aren't as bad, or maybe the devils actually help them out. Who knows? I would like to see the relationship with Hino country and devils, possibly spirits, be introduced into this chapter. So there probably is some good devils just like Libe. I still think there's some good devils that are good not because of a contract like Knott's devils, and if there are good devils, they're probably going to end up being in the Land of the Rising Sun / Hino country, in my opinion, because everything seems so different than what we're accustomed in the Clover Kingdom continent. Also, I do see a possibility of the sightseeing with Ryua continuing. It's a huge possibility that we're going to see more of this village in the Land of the Rising Sun, but I think this is just a normal village. I don't think this is the actual capital city, so we're probably going to get the capital city introduced in this chapter. Obviously, it's not going to be like Tokyo, but it would be very cool if it's based on Tokyo before it actually became like modernized with the skyscrapers and modern buildings. So it'd be cool if we got to see like the first steps of Tokyo, even though I don't think it's going to be called Tokyo in Black Clover, but it'd be cool if the capital or the central city in the Land of the Rising Sun is based on old Tokyo. I wonder if that's going to happen, but watch, Asta's training is not going to be in that small village. I think it's going to be somewhere else. Now on to the cast that's currently in the Clover Kingdom. I think we're going to get a small update as to what they're doing. We know for a fact that Yami and the captains just had a meeting. We're not entirely sure what is their plan of action. Are they planning to train? What are they planning to do? So I think this chapter is going to further explain that. I think we're going to get a little bit of an insight as to what they plan to do, like how they're going to train, how they're going to move forward, who's going to be the next Wizard King in the place of Julius. I know it was mentioned that Fogolion or Nozel might end up being the Wizard King, but they felt not powerful after fighting Lucifero. I think that might be a tease as to the next Wizard King becomes is going to be one of those two in replacement of Julius. It'll probably be Fogolion in my opinion, because he does have a spirit, but I wonder when is he eventually going to do the spirit dive. Like, he has to know how to do the spirit dive soon, because he has been with Salamander too long to not know how to use a spirit dive at this moment. I think this chapter is going to hint more, or possibly even solidify Fogolion being the acting Wizard King. I get the feeling that we're probably going to get a little bit more insight, maybe not in this chapter or the following chapter, as to the process of someone becoming a Wizard King. Yami and William Vengeance, we still don't know what's going on with them. Like, I still want to know what they're thinking. Us as a fandom, we have an idea as to how they feel, but I would like us to know exactly what's going on in their head, because this is huge. They realized that they were used as pawns for this Lucius guy's scheme. Hopefully we get inner and outer dialogue between them in this chapter. Now going on to the Black Bulls. So last time we saw the Black Bulls, it looks like they're searching for Asta. One of you guys told me in the comments that there's a possibility that Finral can open a portal to the Land of the Rising Sun. I mean, I would love to see that. Unfortunately, I think he said that he has to be to a certain place to create a portal, but if he's able to create a portal to, say, maybe as a kid he went somewhere close to the Land of the Rising Sun, I wouldn't be surprised if Finral does like a portal and the Black Bulls get close to the Land of the Rising Sun, but who knows. All I know is that in the next couple of chapters we're definitely going to get an update as to them. I get the feeling that Charmy should be in the Land of the Rising Sun. She looks so much like a lot of the people there, even though she's half dwarf. I think Charmy has something to do with the Land of the Rising Sun, so we're definitely going to get an update as to what's going on with them. They're most likely going to end up going to the Land of the Rising Sun, in my opinion, but you never know. This is Tabata's story, not mine. But yes, that's basically all I have to say about this. You know, Tabata is going to bring the fire after a week off, especially with him having 4 months off, so expect a fire chapter. Let me know what you think is going to happen next chapter. Let me know what you think about this video. Do you think that we're going to get an update with the Black Bulls? Do you think that we're going to get a new Wizard King placed in the Clover Kingdom? Or do you think that the chapter is going to focus on Asta sightseeing more of the Land of the Rising Sun? Do you think we're going to get introduced to any of the 7 Ryuzen in this chapter? Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.